Hello everybody. Welcome. How is everyone doing today? Hello everybody. Hi friends. I'm gonna light some sage and we will get started having the wonderful healing talk that my guides have been telling me to talk about for a good while. It's been a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they have been saying, talk about healing, talk about surrendering. And I'm like, okay, I'm tired, but I'll talk about it. And today, they immediately, after I did my goddess bath, they said, talk about it today. And I just so happened to have a client that rescheduled last minute. So, divine timing. How is everybody feeling? How is everybody feeling today in this ridiculous energy? It is crazy. So crazy. There's so much, I guess I can call it a disturbance, it feels like. Kind of like it's messy. It feels like messy energy. Yeah, I feel tired and sleepy too. I feel just frazzled, I guess. That's a cute word for it. A mess is another word for it. So let's see. I will be honest with you. I really don't know what is going to come through. I really don't know what my guides are going to say, but they keep insisting. So here we are. Let's see. I have questions. I asked you guys on my story if you have any questions about surrendering and letting go and healing, and you guys had a bunch. So I will start with those questions that came from my story post, and you guys can also leave questions in the comments and I will answer your questions there. Let's get started. First, I will drink some water. You know what I did want you guys to do? If you have a mirror, like a small mirror, or you can take your phone with you into the bathroom, I want to do some mirror work with you guys. I think that we should do that, because mirror work has really helped me a lot, and we have been taught through movies and stupid things like that we shouldn't look in the mirror because it's a portal, when in reality, the mirror's not the portal. The mirror is a thing, you're the portal. And so I think we should use the mirror today to do some interactive healing, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. So let's see. First, we got a good question first. How can I release guilt? This is a good one. This is a great one. Releasing guilt. It's not an overnight thing and, I released all my guilt. I released, it's gone. I'm never going to feel guilty again. That's not how it works. For a lot of us, we have some religious programming that causes us to feel guilty when there's nothing at all to feel guilty for. We've kind of been taught to feel guilty for existing, for doing what's right for us, for standing up for ourselves, or we feel guilty for being women because the church tells us that it's bad to be empowered and be a woman. It's bad to speak up and be a woman. And so there's a lot of shame just around existing, and shame causes guilt. So I myself actually had this come up last night. I have a lot of guilt around not being the best mom I could be, because I was very young when I had my daughter. She was born when I was 18, and at 18 you're a child yourself. And so I was not a good mom to her, and I still feel guilty, even though I'm a wonderful mother now. I'm an incredible mother now, and her and I have had conversations about it. I have asked her for her forgiveness. I have explained to her that I didn't have a really good mom, and so I didn't know how to love her because I was never loved. And so we've had talks where we have both cried and both, shared our feelings and really shown up for each other. But still, those feelings come back. They come back. They never go away. We just learn how to deal with those feelings in a different way. So for me, it came up last night. I was thinking about moments where I wasn't a good mom. And of course, they haunt you. They play back in your head because those moments have a lot of negative emotion and negative energy around them. And so they're like trapped in your body almost. And so when that came up for me, I said to myself, I am doing my best right now to make it right. I am a great mother now. I have done everything that I can possibly do to fix those things. I have said sorry to her. I've done everything that I can do. And so now I have to release it. I'm a good mom. And so I said to myself, I am a good mother. I should not feel guilty. I'm a better person. We do shitty things when we are not healed. We become fucked up in the first place, and it's not even our fault. We didn't even do that to ourselves. It's a vicious cycle that we have been in for a long time. It's a trauma cycle that we've been in with our parents and their parents before them, because we didn't know how to heal ourselves. And so we are feeling guilty over things that we didn't create the trauma in our own lives. And so we have to forgive ourselves for the terrible things that we have done while we were not the person that we are today. Does that make sense? So, thank you, friend, for buying a badge. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate you and I love you so much. So let me see if I can pick up any channeled information on how to release guilt. Guilt is the lowest possible vibration. It will keep you trapped in hell. When you feel guilty, it feels that way. It feels like you're trapped in hell. That's because you are. Hell is a vibration. Hell is not a place. And you have the power to release yourself from that specific place. And all it requires is self-forgiveness, self-love, and self-realization that you are not the person that you used to be anymore. My guides are saying that you are forgiven, but what counts is that you forgive yourself. It doesn't matter if God comes down from the sky, sits in front of you and says, I forgive you for all the terrible things you've done. If you don't forgive yourself, it doesn't matter, because you determine your experience here. There is no magical being in the sky that's going to come down and say, you're granted access to heaven. That's not how it works. It's you. You have the ability to grant yourself access to heaven or to grant yourself access to hell. It is you. It is your perception of yourself, of what you've done, of who you are in this moment. That determines where you live, what vibration you live in. So it is very important that you release all guilt. Ask yourself right now. Here we go. The mirror work comes in. If you can get yourself a mirror, get one, even if it's a little one. You just need to be able to look into your own eyes. If you want to go walk into your bathroom with your phone, go for it. I'll give you a minute. We're going to talk to ourselves out loud. It might feel uncomfortable for you at first, but truthfully, I don't care. Do it anyway, because you deserve to free yourself from this prison that you have created. And it's almost, this is so interesting. So you created a prison for yourself on accident. You didn't know what you were doing. But now that you know, you have to free yourself. It's your responsibility to free yourself. You're not a victim here. Yes, terrible things have happened, but now you are a different person and you have healed. So stop judging yourself, because you're not that same person anymore. So look in the mirror and say, I am free from guilt. Say it again and again and again. I am free from guilt. I am free from guilt. Again and again and again. What you're going to feel, I already feel it. I can feel it happening to most of you that are doing this right now. Heaviness in your chest. It's going to rise up and you're going to feel heaviness in your chest. You're going to feel like you need to cry. And all of those things that you feel guilty about are going to come up. They're going to come up because you're saying I'm free from them. In order for you to release that guilt, you must release it. So when it comes up, go into it. Don't run away from it. It seems counteractive because when you feel pain, who wants to feel pain? You want to run away from it. But instead of running away from it, dive into it. Let it consume you. Let it drown you. So if you feel like crying, cry. Go for it, because that is the release of energy. So look in the mirror and say, I am free from guilt. Say it again and again and again until those things come up. And then dive into those things. Think about those things. Whatever it is. Can be anything. Maybe it's the way that you treated someone in the past. Maybe you got triggered and you yelled at somebody that didn't deserve it. Say, I am free from guilt. I forgive myself from judgment. I am no longer the person I was. I am free, I am free, I am free. Listen, it's not supposed to feel good, right? It's supposed to suck. It is not easy. A lot of times I will tell you guys to do certain things like surrender, like let go, like free yourself. And sometimes you say, well, it's not that easy. No, it's not. It's really hard. It's the hardest thing you will ever have to do in your life, but it's worth it. And you deserve to be free. And I promise you, even though it feels like your emotions are going to kill you, they're not. They're not going to kill you. And you're going to come out of the other side of this a little bit more free. And that's exactly what you deserve to be. All right, next. I like this question. How can I enjoy my life more? Beautiful. So if you have created a life for yourself that does not align with who you are, it's going to suck and you're going to hate it, and it doesn't matter what it is. You can have the most seemingly fun job in the world, but if it doesn't align with you and who you are and what you feel most alive doing, it's hell. It's hell. So I will give you an example. Before my spiritual awakening, I had a business and it was fun. I love to make things and create things, so it was very fun. But I will be honest, I felt no purpose. It was cool and I made a good amount of money and that was nice, and I was able to accomplish all of my superficial dreams, like having a nice new car, living in a big house, providing certain things for my children. And I thought, oh, this is the dream. This is what I want to achieve. And so I had all the things that I wanted. I had the cool job. I had my own business. Nobody told me what to do. I was making good money. I finally proved everyone wrong. And the moment I walked into that big new fancy house and I sat on the couch, a voice in my head said to me, yeah, but you don't own this house. You're just renting this house. And I was like, oh no, it's never gonna be enough. Nothing I do is ever gonna be enough, and I will never have peace if I am just working on these superficial goals. These are the things that society tells us we need to be happy. And so I did all of those things. I accomplished all of those things rather quickly. And I think a lot of us are blessed with these abilities to manifest exactly what we want very quickly. Because when we do that, we realize, oh, that thing isn't what I thought it was going to be. That thing isn't the thing that is going to fill the hole in my heart and make me happy. The only thing that ever did that for me is helping others. And so here I am. But it took my whole entire life collapsing completely. My business shut down. I lost everything. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. A piece of me died. But in that happening, I found myself, and little by little, I realized what was most important to me. And so back to the question, how can I enjoy my life more? Do what you love doing. Do what you love doing and be who you are. Stop hiding. Stop hiding yourself. If you have gifts and abilities, show up as who you are. There are people waiting for you that need your help. You can enjoy life more by learning to be a kid. Be a kid. Be silly. Be ridiculous. Go roll in the dirt, go roll in the mud, jump in the pool, be silly, have a great time. Do what your soul wants you to do and stop worrying about what other people think of you. Fuck them. Seriously. They're having their own experience. People are going to love you or hate you, and it has absolutely nothing to do with who you are as a person or what you're doing. So go for it. I think that this must be for a specific person. Whoever this is resonating with, I think that you are not allowed to do things that you wanted to do as a child, or maybe your parents kind of put you into a box and told you that this is how you have to behave. You can't be like this. You can't be too loud. You can't be too silly. So you're programmed. That's what this is. That's why you're not enjoying your life, because you've been programmed to not enjoy your life and not do the things that you love, because you've been told that the things that you love are a waste of time, or they're silly, or they're ridiculous. So it's not you. It's not you at all. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not, it really feels like you ask yourself this. Like you say, what's wrong with me? Why don't I enjoy things that other people enjoy? Because you're not other people. You're you, and you're different, and you are unique, and you are special and beautiful. And I'm sorry that your parents didn't allow you to be who you are, but now you can reparent yourself. You can be the you that you want to be, and it is most important, because if you don't do that, you will die miserably, and guess where you'll be again? Right back freaking here to learn the same lesson. And I know you don't want to do that, because I know you're exhausted, because I'm exhausted. We're all exhausted. So let's see if I can get any closing words or channeled information on this, how to enjoy your life more. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. And I think for a lot of us, that doesn't feel good, because we've been told that ourselves are not good enough. We've been told that we are not smart enough, that we're not skinny enough, that we're not tall enough, that we're not rich enough, that we don't get good grades. We are constantly told that who we are is not good enough, and that we're not fitting into the box in the right way, and that we don't want to go get a stupid job that sucks. And we're just brainwashed to believe that nothing that we want to do or care about is good enough, and that we ourselves are not good enough. So I think it really first starts with you realizing that the way that you feel is programming. It's not even you. Let's see. Next question. I need some water. Okay, this is a good one. How do you get family to understand that they have healing to do without offending them? Here's a good one. Well, who cares if they're offended, right? You're trying to help them. And even if you say it in the most beautiful, kind way, like, hey, I think maybe we can do things better. If they are unhealed, it doesn't matter. They're going to attack you. So do what you can, but be aware that the attacking and the triggering that comes with it is just a sign of them being unhealed. And for me personally, I always like to give personal examples, practical examples, so that maybe you can relate my experience to one of your experiences, and it will make more sense to you in that way. So, my experience with my family that needs healing. Well, listen, my whole family needs healing. I think all of our families do, because we purposely incarnate into really horrible situations sometimes. And usually in those situations, we have like a grandma or like an aunt or like one person that keeps us alive because they do love us so much. But the rest of them are just fucked up. And that's okay. We come here on purpose because we are capable of helping those people and healing those people. And that's why we're here. And that's why we are in those shitty family dynamics. My example. So I have had always a horrible relationship with my mother, but that's because she has had a horrible relationship with her mother, was never loved, didn't know how to give love. And so it was just so bad. There was a lot of abuse. Verbal was terrible. There was some physical abuse. It was just always very hard. And she was never there for me. She was like, the best way I can explain her is like a friend that doesn't really like you that much. It's like a frenemy type of relationship. So not too long ago, she did something that I asked her specifically not to do, and it had something to do with my children. And so I, of course, tried to be an adult about it, and I tried to say, hey, what you did was wrong. You went against you went against me, and you did this thing that I asked you not to do, and the kids asked you not to do it, and you didn't listen to them. And she said to me, well, you're the only one that has a problem with me, so you're going to have to deal with it. And I was like, oh, okay. You think I'm messing around. And of course now, this was me after my awakening, so I'm a healed person. I'm healed, but it still feels like a knife to the heart when you try to be kind to someone and they just don't give a fuck. They don't care because they are unhealed. So instead of her reflecting on her own actions and maybe apologizing, she just doubled down and made it seem like I'm ridiculous and there's something wrong with me. Gaslighting, they do that. So just don't let them win. No, you have to know in your heart and in your mind that you are right, and you don't have to fold, even if it's your mother or even if it's your family member, even more so. And so I decided to not communicate with my mother at all whatsoever until she said, I'm sorry that I did that and I shouldn't have done that. And that took a long time. That took 6 months. 6 months I did not talk to my mom. I did not allow her to see my children. And the universe definitely was on my side, because then my kid's dad was also like, you know what, you're right, your mom's tripping. I'm not going to let the kids go over there either. My mom went behind my back and tried to go to him and try to get the kids to come over to her house and do all that sneaky shit. But everybody shut it down, and which usually doesn't happen. That really doesn't happen to me. Usually everybody is not on my side. Usually I'm kind of backed into a corner. But this time around, I think because I decided to do it in a peaceful way, I didn't verbally lash out. I just said, this is wrong what you're doing, and unless you respect me and what I say, then I can't hang out with you or talk to you, and you can't see my kids either. And I hope that you are able to figure it out and become a better person, because I do want you in our lives. So I think that this was very necessary. I think that not only was it necessary for me, but she needed to learn a lesson. And that's exactly what my guide said. I cried and cried and cried, and I said, what the hell do I do here? What do I do here? And they said to me, leave her alone. She needs to learn a lesson. You'll see, she's going to learn. 6 months go by. And one day she sent me a text. She said, I'm so sorry. I hope you forgive me. I love you. I want you in my life, and I'll try better to be a better person. And then so far it's been okay. She's not perfect, right? She's not a perfect person. And she's pretty fucked up. But me being strong and saying, no, I'm not going to allow you to do this to me anymore. There's something clearly is wrong with you, and you need to figure that out. It hurt me to not talk to my mom for 6 months. And not let my kids see her for 6 months, but it was very necessary, because she needed to realize that I'm not fucking around, and my peace and my kids' peace is more important than her getting to see us. And so sometimes we have to teach people painful lessons, but we are never, ever, ever supposed to let people abuse us and allow them just to continue to do it. And that's what I did my whole life, because I didn't know any better. That's my only mom. I had no idea how to deal with her. I usually would just give her back the same horrible crap that she would give to me. But all that did was create more pain inside of me. So I stopped doing that. And when I stopped doing that, everything changed. So the best thing that you can do if you want to heal someone else, heal yourself. Heal yourself. Not only because you are acting as an example for everyone else when you do heal yourself. Energy is contagious. So if you are working on healing yourself and people see you, they notice something about you that's different. Maybe they can't put their finger on it, but you look different, you sound different, you seem really happy, you have good energy about you. And people are miserable. They want that. They want to feel that way. So a lot of times just you showing up as a healed, beautiful version of yourself will have them asking you questions like, what the hell are you doing? I want some of that. How do you feel so good and I still feel like shit? Tell me your ways. So healing yourself is honestly the best thing that you could ever do. It will not only change your life, but it will change the life of others. Also, like I just said, energy is contagious. When you do heal yourself, and when you do start taking these energy cleansing baths, I talk about them all the time. When you start doing that, what you're doing is extending your energy field. You are putting so much light into your light body that it extends for like a mile. It can get so huge that you engulf like a small city with positive energy. And that's why we're all here and we're all in specific places. Because when we heal, when we get these upgrades from the sun and we transfer this energy into our light body, just by being next to someone, you can heal them. So the best thing that you could possibly ever do is heal yourself. Also, not only that, when you do raise your vibration and heal yourself, you are using your chakras are not only energy centers, they're portals. And so the higher you get in the healing of your chakras, you're opening up more positive timelines for yourself. And so let's say you heal yourself so much and you end up on a different timeline. On this next timeline that you're on, the person that you want to heal is open to healing. They're open to it, and then they come to you and they say, can you please help me? I want your help. So healing yourself, most important thing that you could ever do. Beautiful. Next question. Oh, this is a good one. How much do we surrender versus being proactive? So, this is important. I posted recently about surrendering to the current moment. There are things that you need to do and there are things that you need to accept. How do you know the difference? Good question. If you are, let's say we're in a shitty situation, let's say we are in a shitty relationship and we know we're in a shitty relationship and we don't feel that this person is aligning anymore with us and they don't understand us and we're changing spiritually and they are not, and they tell us that it's weird and they don't like it, or they make us feel uncomfortable for being spiritual, or whatever it is. They can just be gaslighting you because they are just not a nice person. Whatever it is. You know when you're not supposed to be in the situation. You know it. You are intelligent. You know. Your body will tell you. Something tells you this is wrong. That is when you do something about it. You don't sit around and say, I'm going to surrender to this shitty situation that I put myself into. No, you're not supposed to surrender to allowing someone to abuse you. That is the opposite. That is terrible. So what you're doing is keeping yourself trapped in hell when you have the keys. You have the keys to open the door to get out of there, but you're just sitting in it. And so that is a situation that you are creating for yourself that you don't have to be in. So don't surrender to that. Don't surrender to being abused. For example, I will tell you something that I have needed to surrender to. Right now, I live in an apartment and I'm so freaking sick of it. I want to live in a house so that I can have a garden and grow tomatoes and, have people over to do little healing sessions, whatever it is. But in California and probably everywhere, rent has gone up $1,000 in a year and it is freaking insane. And my guides keep telling me, chill out. It's going to happen when it's time. Chill. It's going to happen when it's time. And I keep pushing it. I'm like, no, I want this thing. I want to go now. I want all these things that I want. And I keep forcing the manifestations and applying so much energy to it. And they're like, girl, sit your ass down and wait. It's going to happen when it's time. And so that is when you surrender. Because you have tried every which way to make this thing work and it's not working. It's not supposed to work right now. There is a plan. There is a divine plan. And so there's nothing that I can do to make that work. It's just not going to work. And I have tried. I've been trying for 2 years. It's not the time yet. And so I need to surrender to that thing. Let's see if I can give you another example on what you should not surrender to. Being exactly the same thing I just told you about the situation with me and my mom. Surrendering to letting someone abuse you and treat you badly is where you should not surrender. Don't surrender to that. You have to do something about it also, because treating someone badly is a mistake, and people have to learn from their mistakes, because if not, they're racking up more karma, and so you are responsible for that karma that they are racking up by letting them treat you like shit. And I hate to put that on you, but really that's what we're doing, and we can't do that because that's not fair to them. We have to stand up for, it's not fair to us either. We have to stand up for ourselves. And in the most beautiful way. You don't have to be an asshole. You don't have to cuss someone out. You can just say, I don't like how you treat me and I want out of this situation. I'm done with it. I'm not talking to you anymore. Or whatever it is. Also, something that you can do that might help you is giving control to your higher self and to God. Surrendering to God. And I know this might make a few of you uncomfortable, because when you surrender to God, you are really handing over all the control and allowing your higher self to move things around for you. So, for example, if you feel that someone is being sneaky or doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, let's say the relationship dynamic. Let's say you're in a relationship and you feel somewhere inside of you that someone is doing something bad, like maybe they're cheating or they're lying to you or whatever it is. You have to say, I surrender to God. Please remove anyone that is not for my highest good from my life now. Look at yourself in the mirror and say it. And this might make a few of you uncomfortable because you're not ready to let go. But if you're ready to be happy, you got to be brave and do the thing. You have to. Do you want to stay in this karmic relationship forever, or do you want to find someone that really loves you? There's going to be pain involved. Life is pain. The human experience is extremely painful. Just surrender to it. Feel the pain. It's not going to kill you. It will wash over you like a wave and it will dissipate. And you will come out of the other side stronger. But you cannot be afraid of feeling. I know that's hard. I used to be terrified of feeling. I used to numb myself. I have been numbing myself since I could possibly numb myself, with alcohol, with weed, with shitty relationships, you name it. I have been numbing and numbing and numbing myself. Because I think that people like us, people that have gifts, we feel feeling stronger than other people do. And it really does feel like it's killing you inside. It feels like someone is stabbing you. For me, I used to say that I would rather someone beat me up than hurt me emotionally, because physical pain is like nothing in comparison to the emotions that I feel. And when I stopped running from those emotions, I realized that they were a beautiful gift. They really are. And me feeling my emotions allows me to heal myself. And not only that, it allows me to heal other people. Because my gift specifically, and I think a lot of yours as well, is feeling the feelings of others. And so when you can feel the feeling of another person, you can understand them. You understand their pain, you understand where they've been, and so you know maybe why they are the way that they are, and then you can help them in a certain way. But if you won't feel your own feelings, how can you help anybody else feel theirs or heal themselves? So don't be afraid of your feelings. It is a superpower. Feeling is a superpower. That's how I connect with my spirit guides. When I feel feelings, literally, when I'm driving in the car, I put on a specific song that is for my spirit guide. And today I was driving and I put it on and I was like, I don't feel like crying today, guys. And they said to me, but you love crying. And I was like, oh God, okay, fine. I love crying. So I just let it come and then I cried. But being emotional is a gift. The feeling emotions is a gift. When your spirit guides come and communicate with you, you feel emotional. That is literally the first thing you feel. When a high vibrational being is in your vicinity, in your energy field, it will make you feel like you just have to pour tears from your face, because vibration is emotion. And when they come through, they will always force all the low vibrational energy out of you, which makes you cry and cry and cry. And then when the tears are done, you feel this incredible, it's such an interesting feeling. I wish I could explain it, but it feels like light, like bright light, like almost blinding you, but not with your eyes. It's like with your energy. So feeling is a superpower. Feel the feelings. Don't be afraid of them. If you want to cry, freaking cry. Dive into it. Let it overcome you. Let the emotions drown you. I promise you, you'll be okay. Let's see. I'm struggling with my weight and have a hard time loving myself. What can I do? This is an incredible question. So I think we all really struggle with body issues, no matter who the hell we are. We can be the most perfect, beautiful person by society standards, and we still hate ourselves because there is like an attack on how we feel about ourselves. And so I want to invite you to imagine that society standards are everyone in our society at a certain age does a certain thing. Let's say when we're 14, everyone dyes their skin blue. And so to fit in the crowd, everyone has blue skin and everyone does it. Let's say you don't fucking feel like having blue skin. Let's say you're born with skin that doesn't dye blue. And so society ridicules you, and then you hate yourself because you're not blue. That's literally the same thing. That's what they're doing to us. They're telling us, oh, you're too big. Oh, you're too small. Oh, you have brown hair. Well, you should dye it blonde. Oh, you have blonde hair. Well, then it should be black. There is always something. There's always something wrong with us by society standards. For example, 1,000 years ago, if you were fat, you were a freaking goddess and you were super rich. And now if you're fat, then it's a problem and you're obese and you have to lose weight. So like, what the hell? These things change every couple years. Like the whole BBL thing, everybody was all over it because of the Kardashians, and now it is out of style, and everybody that has BBLs is fucked and everybody's making fun of them. Like, we cannot win by society standards, so stop trying. Be yourself and love yourself. Before you came here, you picked your body. You said, I'm going to look through all these different bodies. Let's say like it's an outfit in the closet. You go through all the outfits and you say, oh, this is the one. I love this one. This one makes me happy. This one will make me feel beautiful. I'll feel like a goddess in this body. And so you picked the body, and then you came here and you forgot that you picked this body. And then society brainwashed you into believing that the body that you love so much that you picked is horrible. It's the wrong body and you're not beautiful enough. So fuck what society tells you, fuck what your parents tell you and the people close to you tell you, because they don't like themselves either. Is this easy to do? No, it's not. It's very hard because we have been brainwashed, and this is something that I still deal with all the time, but I am learning. I did have a vision. I had a vision because I was struggling with this, and my guide said to me, you picked your body because you thought you looked like a goddess. You said, this is what goddesses look like. This is the body that I choose. So I love this body before I came here and was born into it. I picked it. It made me so happy. And now that I'm here, I have been taught to absolutely hate it. And so we have to remember that we chose these bodies because we love them, because we believe they're beautiful, because we believe that this is the best vessel to get all of this work done that we have to do here. Again, it's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. It's something that I still struggle with too. And I've had all these visions, and I have connections to my guides. I've seen myself in many different forms. And so you have to, at some point, say, fuck what everyone else thinks. This is my body and I love it. And once you start expressing love towards your vessel, it will change. It changes for you. It wants to change. You are made up of tiny little cells that are made up of tiny little atoms, and those things are vibrating and changing at any moment. And the more you say, I hate you, body, I hate you, body, your body's like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to do what you want. Get out of here. Stop telling me that you hate me. Start saying, I love you. You're beautiful. You make me so happy. You're so special. You are a divine body. And then it's like, oh, she's being so nice to us. We're going to do whatever she wants. And then when you look in the mirror, you're going to look different. You're going to look incredible. You're going to look beautiful. You're going to change into what you want to be because you're being kind to yourself. Love yourself, because society's not going to freaking do it. You have to love yourself first if you want anyone else to love you. Let's see. Any more questions? This is a good one. How can I help my partner heal? First, this is a kind of a weird line to walk, right? Because we can't heal someone if they're not ready to be healed. We can't help someone heal if they are not receptive to us. And we can't help them if it's not their time. So you have to know when you trying to help someone is hurting you more than it is helping them. For example, my 10-year lovely abusive relationship that I always talk about, we're okay now, but we were not okay, and he was really fucked up, and I knew that. I knew that from the beginning, and me being the freaking ridiculous person that I was like, oh, poor guy, I want to help him. Maybe I can love him like his mom never did. It's not our job. We end up being abused when we have that mentality and we think that it is our responsibility to give somebody the love they didn't have. No, it is their responsibility. And when you put yourself into that situation and you put yourself into that position of loving them like that person could never do, they start to abuse you. Because that person was abusive to them. And so they connect you with that person and then they start to abuse you because they think of you. It's like they connect those two people. Like, for example, my ex was adopted. His mom, his biological mother was on drugs when he was born. And so he hated her. He really hated her. And I tried to give him the love that she didn't give him. And man, he treated me so bad. And all I did was try to love him. And it's because I'm not his mother. It is not my job. And so it was like the universe was working through him to say, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? This isn't your job. But I wasn't listening. And I was just like, oh, maybe I'll just try harder. Because remember, I was in that abusive relationship with my mother. And so I was used to being abused. And I thought, when someone loves you, this is just how they act. We have to know when to say, I'm done. I'm getting the fuck out of here. But if someone is saying, like, for example, the relationship that I'm in now with my twin flame, he has needed a lot of healing. And I have been here for it, and I have helped him, and I will always be. Because he is receptive to it, he is open to it, and he knows that he needs it. And so he's very thankful to me for helping him with these things. And he says to me, you've changed my life. I'm a completely different person now, and I'm so thankful for you. Now, this situation, you can see how it's very different. He is receptive to it. He wants to change. He wants to heal. And he continues to do that as often as he can. So if you are helping a person heal that wants to heal, then lovely. Perfect. That's how beautiful relationships are supposed to be. But if you're trying to help a person heal and they're like, leave me alone, I don't want to be healed, and they keep treating you badly or they're pushing you away, get out of there. You're not supposed to be in that situation. It's not for you to be there. Remember, ask the universe, ask your higher self, ask your guides, and say, if this person is not for me, get them out of my life now. Please, I surrender to the will of God. Remove this person from my life if they're not supposed to be in my life. It takes a lot of balls to say, but I hope you all do it. You all better do it, because we're done suffering, right? Suffering is voluntary now. We don't have to suffer if we don't want to. So get the hell out of there. And if you need help, ask for it. You should not suffer anymore. We're all free to literally walk into the kingdom of God energetically. All you have to do is leave. I know it's not easy. I know that. I know it's hard. I know it feels terrible, but you have to save yourself. And only you can save yourself. Your guys can help. They can present you with an opportunity to get the hell out of there. But if you don't choose to save yourself, then you cannot. Nobody's going to come pluck you out and say, oh, you're saved. No, you have to save yourself. You're a very powerful being. And there are laws. There's the law of free will. And so nobody can come and just remove you. You have to remove yourself. You have to make that choice to save yourself. These specific situations are called choice points. Let's say you're in a situation, you're in a relationship with someone and they do something horrible to you. And you're like, oh, what do I do? That's a choice point. That is a timeline bifurcation. That's a choice point. You have an opportunity to leave this horrible situation or stay. So what you gonna do? The universe can only present you with a choice point, with the bifurcation point, and then it is up to you to go to the left or to the right. But it's not going to make the choice for you because you have free will and you are here to decide for yourself what kind of experience you want to have. Let's see. Any questions for me, guys? Any more questions? Because I am done. Oh, there's a lot of questions. Okay, hold on. How to release guilt. We did that already. Oh, perfect. Every time I think I have released my ex, I start having dreams about him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to have dreams about them. I still have dreams about my ex from 12 years ago. He will not leave me alone. He's bothering me. It's not me because, oh, I want him, so I'm dreaming about him. It's meant to be. No, hell no. He is thinking about me. And he is astral projecting into my freaking dreams. Cut it off. It doesn't matter. Don't go back. It's not a sign. Don't do it. If it's supposed to happen, he will show up, boom, in front of your face. So don't think that that's a sign from God or something like that. Exes do that. Especially, this is why we got to be very careful who we have sex with. Because sex is a sacred act. It is not just a casual activity. You are intertwining your soul with that person. And so they are in your aura. That's why it's so hard to let go of your exes. That's why people go back and forth constantly. Because we are intertwining our soul essence with another human being. So please be careful who you have sex with. Because you are taking on their energy. I'm not saying never have sex. I'm not saying that. It's okay to do. But you need to make sure that that person is worthy of you. That they respect you, that they love you, that they're not just doing this because they want to have sex and they're bored. It's a sacred activity and you are like a piece of gold. You need to treat yourself that way. If not, you're going to have these people haunting you and transferring their shitty energy to you forever. And we don't want that. Sometimes I feel like I can't distinguish between when I'm feeling low because I'm beating myself up, or is there something I need to release? Do you have advice? Well, it's kind of both, right? It feels like you are beating yourself up and then you need to release that too. So focus on releasing those feelings. Also, examine your mind. Examine your thoughts. Notice yourself beating yourself up emotionally. Just like I did last night. Remember, I was having those thoughts about me not being a good mom and feeling bad about it, even though I have literally done every single thing in my power to fix everything that I could have ever done wrong. I started to think about it and beat myself up. I even cried and I said, no, I'm a good mother. I am a good mother. I'm a good person. And I've done everything that I could possibly ever do to make this right. And then I let it go. You're going to have to do that a few times because there's a groove in your mind. It's like water, right? So if water is running over a mountain, it's going to create like a little river. And then the river washes over it again and again and again and again. And then it becomes a huge groove. There's a huge groove in the mountain where the water is because the water continues to pass and pass and pass through that specific spot. So you have those in your brain. And what you need to do is little by little, every day when you catch yourself beating yourself up, redirect that water to another pathway. It's not going to happen overnight, right? Because the groove has been dug for years and years and years. So be patient with yourself and slowly redirect those thought patterns in another way. I am good. I am at peace. I am doing the best that I possibly can. I surrender to the universe and I know that I am in the right place at the right time. Say it. Say completely opposite of what your mind is trying to convince you of. So dig a new groove for yourself. Let's see. How can I help my partner release his past and surrender to his emotions? Is that something he wants to do? We have to ask ourselves that. A lot of us have this savior complex. We want to save everybody, but it's literally not our job. All we're supposed to do is heal ourselves. And when someone comes to us ready and prepared to heal themselves, then we can teach them how to heal themselves, but we cannot heal them ourselves. We are here to teach them how to heal themselves by healing ourselves first. Remember, we have free will. So yeah, sure, someone can come to you and say, heal me, please. But that we can't do that. We can't. We can only help them heal themselves by giving them the proper tools and the proper knowledge, which is why I'm doing this for you guys. So when I talk to you, like let's say we're having a reading and you say, I have to make a choice and I don't know what choice to make. Which one should I make? I cannot give you that answer. I can't. But I can tell you how you should make that choice. I can tell you what you need to consider and maybe how you need to look at it so that it's in a realistic way. But I can't make that choice for you because that's a violation of free will. It is not my reality, it's yours. So we cannot heal them, but we can teach them how to heal themselves. That's really all we can do. So if he's receptive to it, good. If he's not, then you cannot do anything about it. You can just love him from a distance and work on yourself as much as you possibly can. And you're not leaving him behind. Sometimes people need to be alone to realize that they need to try a little harder. Just like my mom needed to be alone for 6 months so she can figure out that I'm not fucking around and that I'm demanding respect, finally. So if you are feeling, if you being around him is making you sick, you gotta stop. You can't be around him. And I know it's hard, right? Because we want to be loved and we want to love others. But if you are physically sick around him, you're not supposed to be around him. I don't know if you watched my twin flame story, but I talk about me being physically ill every time I had sex with my ex. Like we would be mid situation and I would feel like I needed to vomit and I would have to run away. I would run to the bathroom to throw up every single time because I was not supposed to be with this person. And so if you're physically ill around somebody, you're not supposed to be around them. Oh, I love this question. How can someone who copes by smoking weed for 20 years... I'm sorry, maybe I worded it wrong. So this person smokes a lot of weed, which I used to do. I was like a weed princess, and doesn't want to stop. Well, if they don't want to stop, then they're never stopping. So if you don't want to stop, then you're not going to stop. And if you don't like it, then you need to get the hell out of there. But I am still going to answer the question in another way, which is how do you stop smoking weed if you use it to cope? Because I used it forever, for so long. And I was like, oh, but it's a plant. It's totally okay. It's not bad for me. I'm just going to be high 24/7. One day at a time. One day at a time is how you quit. And I think people need to realize that by getting high, we're trying to mimic the same feeling that we feel when we are in higher states of consciousness. So my whole life I've been smoking weed because I wanted to mimic how it felt to be in my home frequency. And I didn't know that. So one day at a time. Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy to stop, but you have to face yourself. You have to face the you that you are when you're not high. Sit with yourself. Start one day at a time. Say, today I'm not smoking. Don't say, you don't have to say, I'm never smoking again. Just start with one day and see how you do. Literally, just start with one day. and get through the day And you know, it's hard to sleep. It is. It's not easy. But lay with yourself and deal with it and face yourself and face your feelings and just know you're going to be okay. So start with one day. If you smoke 24/7, then start with just smoking at night. The next day, just smoke at night, and just go a week or two by just smoking at night, and then eventually smoke every other night, and then once a week. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, because let me tell you, I was the biggest pothead. I never said no to smoking. All day, all night, you name it. But we don't need it. We really don't. How do I ease my insomnia? I think you should start taking energy cleansing baths every single day. This will help you a lot. It will help you with many things, but it will definitely help with that. Feel okay. Oh, this is a good one. I feel twin flame. The term twin flame is full of shit. It's been romanticized so much. It has lost its essence. And oh, don't even get me started on how people are misusing it. I think that people don't think it's real, and they think of whatever they think about it because they've never experienced it for themselves. Because I'll be honest with you, I thought everybody was full of shit and good relationships didn't exist, and you just have to deal with being cheated on because that's what all men do. Honey, let me tell you, I was so wrong. I was wrong. Man, twin flames are real, and you will know that for yourself when you experience it. It is something that you can never begin to imagine is real until you experience it. And so that's why I think a lot of people don't like that term and they don't like the idea of it, but it's real. And the only reason I know it's real is because I've experienced it myself. So be mad at it all day, but it's real. And everyone deserves it. Oh no, okay, so energy cleansing bath once a week, that is not enough. You gotta do it every single day. Every single day, because you are loaded with energy from your whole entire life and you need to clean all of that off of you. So, yeah, you said hiking helps. Well, keep going hiking. Don't stop. Go hiking and do energy cleansing baths every single day. What exactly is a twin flame? Okay, so when we left from Source and we decided to come here, we have an exact replicate of our soul. And usually that other being is like, this is very interesting. I will do my best to explain it for you. It is not that we are half of this person, that we are one soul cut in half. It's that we are a duplicate and we are a pair. And there's a masculine and feminine. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a man and a woman, a woman and a man. It can be whatever the hell. But this person is like your perfect pair in every way. And they are not always here with you during your incarnation. They sometimes are your spirit guide and sometimes you're their spirit guide. And once in a while, usually during times of great change and turbulence, we incarnate together and unite. And the alchemical process that happens when we do unite is incredible and it is earth-shaking. But there's a lot more information about it online. Are you always meant to be with your twin flame? You are... No, because you have to heal a lot and you have to learn a lot of stuff. And the twin flame union is something really sacred and divine, and it is available for you only when you're ready to heal at the highest possible level. So not always, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing. You can still love and experience a beautiful love. A beautiful love is not only for twin flames. You can experience wonderful love at any time with anyone. But that is just my experience here, uniting with my twin flame has been incredible. But I know in other lifetimes that we have been together, and in other lifetimes we have not, and that's okay. Energy cleansing baths for children, so very important. This is really important because kids feel our energy and they absorb energy more than even adults do. So what I do for my kids is I personally taught them how to do it because it's fun. So they make the bath, they put their little crystals in there, they put salt, and sometimes I give them little flowers or even a tea bag, and I just put it in there with them. And not only are you cleansing their energy, but you're teaching them very, very valuable skills because it's so important. And honestly, my grandma doing that for me when I was little really set me up to figure shit out. And I'm so thankful that she did teach me that. And it is an ancient practice. It's not new. It's been happening for thousands and thousands of years. Beautiful. This was great, guys. I'm so happy that I got on here and I did this with you guys. I love you all very much. I'm sure I'll do this again. I have another live coming up on July 1st with Will. That's going to be super fun. We're going to talk about aliens and how healing yourself leads eventually to ET contact if that's something that you want. So yeah, I will see you guys again soon. I love you all very much. Have a beautiful evening. Bye.